Welcome to Ibrahim Traore Person, where powerful African stories meet truth and resistance. Today, a surprising moment with Ibrahim Traoré and a little girl will leave you questioning everything. In a quiet gathering, where leaders and children sat together, a little girl raised her innocent voice and asked Ibrahim Traoré a question no one expected. It wasn't about politics, soldiers, or war. It was about Jesus. The crowd froze, their eyes locked on the man known for his strength and defiance against powerful forces. No one could predict what he might say. Would he dismiss her? Would he stay silent? Or would his answer reveal a side of him the world had never seen? What followed left the entire audience in shock and deep reflection. The hall was filled with quiet anticipation, a rare gathering where children were invited to sit among elders and leaders. Ibrahim Traoré, the young revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso, stood calmly at the front, his presence commanding respect without him saying a word. Known worldwide for his fearless defiance against global powers, people expected discussions of politics, justice, or the future of Africa. But in that moment, the room's attention shifted when a small child, no more than 7, bravely lifted her hand. With eyes wide and innocent curiosity, she asked a question about faith, a question about Jesus, one that seemed out of place in such a setting, yet it struck a silence deeper than any speech. The room froze as the little girl's words echoed through the hall, a question so simple yet powerful enough to disarm even the most hardened leaders. Ibrahim Traoré did not answer immediately. Instead, he looked around, his eyes meeting those of the people. Elders, mothers, students, soldiers, each waiting for a response. The silence carried weight, as if the air itself understood the importance of what had just been asked. For many, religion was a deeply personal subject, often used by colonizers to divide and control. The child's question pierced directly into that wound. Whispers began to spread among the crowd, some wondering if the leader would avoid the subject altogether, others curious if he would confront it head-on. In that pause, memories of history seemed to return. The missionaries who came with the Bible in one hand and chains in the other, the schools where African children were taught to see their culture as inferior, the way faith had been twisted into a weapon of oppression. Yet here was a child, innocent and pure, asking about Jesus not with politics in mind, but with the honesty only children possess. The audience leaned in, hearts pounding, knowing that his answer could either stir controversy or inspire unity. The tension rose with each passing second, as everyone realized they were not just about to hear words, they were about to witness history. Finally, Ibrahim Traoré stepped forward, his voice calm but carrying the strength of conviction. He reminded the crowd that Jesus was not a tool of oppression, but a man who stood for truth, justice, and the defense of the poor. He explained that colonizers had used his name to justify their greed, but the true message was never about chains. It was about freedom. His words cut through centuries of distortion, reframing faith not as something imposed from outside, but as a universal call to righteousness. The audience sat in stunned silence, some with tears in their eyes, realizing that he had taken a child's innocent question and turned it into a revelation. At that moment, the hall was no longer divided by religion, politics, or history. It was united by truth. As the hall erupted into quiet nods and murmurs of agreement, the little girl smiled, perhaps not fully grasping the depth of what she had sparked. Ibrahim Traoré's words had transformed a child's innocent question into a lesson for generations, that truth cannot be owned, and faith cannot be chained. It was a reminder that history's wounds could heal, but only if people chose unity over division and justice over oppression. As the moment ended, one question remained in every mind. If even a child can ask what matters most, what excuse do adults have for staying silent?